On the historic evening of November 5, 2024, Donald Trump was re-elected as President of the United States. His return to the White House places him at the helm of addressing numerous pressing issues, including immigration policies at the U.S.-Mexico border, the unfolding crisis in Gaza involving Israel, and critical domestic economic challenges. However, one topic that has captivated global attention is the ongoing war in Ukraine. This conflict remains a highly intricate and evolving situation, with major developments occurring as strategies to resolve it are devised. With the U.S. as a pivotal mediator, Trump's leadership style, and his campaign promises to achieve swift resolutions through bold action come into sharp focus. During his campaign, Trump repeatedly claimed he could resolve the Ukraine war with a mere phone call to Russian President Vladimir Putin. While these statements may carry a populist tone, the question arises, could he genuinely bring an end to such a brutal and complex war? This analysis explores the possible avenues for achieving peace, incorporating insights from geopolitical experts, statements from Trump's advisors, and a deep dive into the dynamics among the key players: Ukraine, Russia, and the United States. The three key players, Trump, Putin, and Zelensky. The resolution of the Ukraine war hinges on the interplay of three critical leaders: Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Volodymyr Zelensky. These leaders represent the interests of their nations, yet their decisions carry implications that extend far beyond their borders. Trump, as the leader of the United States, commands unparalleled military and economic resources. His administration, even before his re-election, had heavily influenced the war's trajectory by supplying advanced weaponry, intelligence support, and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Putin, on the other hand, leads a nation pursuing its interests in Eastern Europe, driven by a mix of historical ties, security concerns, and a desire to reassert Russia's global influence. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, symbolizes resilience and has become a global icon of resistance against aggression. Underpinning their roles are broader international dynamics involving NATO, the European Union, and non-aligned nations. The interactions among these leaders could determine whether the conflict escalates or finds a path toward resolution, with global economic and political stability hanging in the balance. Donald Trump, a negotiator's approach. Donald Trump is renowned for his unorthodox approach to problem-solving, often positioning himself as a dealmaker who thrives in high-stakes negotiations. During his previous term, he brokered the Abraham Accords in the Middle East, earning him praise for fostering diplomatic ties between Israel and several Arab nations. Trump's background in business further shapes his pragmatic, albeit controversial, style. As president, his administration's approach to the Ukraine war is expected to involve leveraging U.S. dominance in military aid and economic assistance to pressure both sides toward peace. To date, the United States has provided over $90 billion in aid to Ukraine since 2022, comprising weapons systems like HIMARS, artillery, and air defense systems. Trump's potential plan likely draws on this leverage, pushing Ukraine to negotiate, while also warning Russia of escalated consequences if they refuse. Critics, however, argue that Trump's transactional diplomacy might alienate NATO allies or embolden adversaries. Regardless, his focus on reducing U.S. expenditures abroad aligns with domestic sentiments, advocating for prioritizing internal challenges over foreign conflicts. Trump's hypothetical peace proposal. Trump's peace plan, while speculative, offers a strategic framework for halting hostilities. The first step involves compelling both Ukraine and Russia to negotiate under threat of punitive measures. Ukraine could face a cessation of U.S. military aid, currently comprising nearly half of all international support, if it resists talks, while Russia could see a massive escalation in Western military aid to Ukraine if it refuses to participate. The second element of the plan includes a ceasefire along the 1,287-kilometer front line, freezing combat operations during negotiations. This may involve halting weapon shipments to Ukraine as a gesture to Russia. Third, A demilitarized zone akin to the Korean DMZ would be established, preventing further territorial advances by either side. This arrangement, however, would likely exclude international peacekeepers, relying on mutual enforcement. Trump's plan also avoids formal territorial concessions, instead freezing gains made by each party. NATO membership for Ukraine would be postponed for 20 years, addressing one of Russia's core demands. Security guarantees for both nations would aim to prevent further escalation. Despite its pragmatic appeal, the plan faces criticism for potentially undermining Ukraine's sovereignty, while placing Trump at odds with key NATO allies, who may see the proposal as compromising the alliance's integrity. Vladimir Putin's perspective. From Vladimir Putin's viewpoint, certain aspects of Trump's plan might align with Russia's interests, but significant challenges remain. Russia has consistently opposed Ukraine's NATO membership, viewing it as a direct threat to its borders. This opposition stems from NATO's expansion into Eastern Europe after the Cold War, which Moscow perceives as a breach of informal assurances made in the 1990s. Since the invasion of Ukraine, Russia has invested heavily in consolidating control over Crimea, Donbas, and other strategic regions. Putin's government argues that these areas are historically and culturally tied to Russia, making their relinquishment politically unfeasible. Additionally, Putin seeks guarantees that Ukraine will not develop nuclear weapons, a concern rooted in Ukraine's inheritance of Soviet nuclear stockpiles in the 1990s. Although Ukraine voluntarily relinquished these weapons under the 1994 Budapest Memorandum, Russia's subsequent actions, including the annexation of Crimea in 2014, have called into question the value of such agreements. For Putin, maintaining territorial gains and ensuring Ukraine's neutrality are non-negotiable. However, agreeing to a demilitarized zone could provide Russia with a face-saving exit strategy, especially if it secures de facto recognition of its territorial acquisitions. Volodymyr Zelensky's dilemma. Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's wartime president, faces unparalleled challenges in navigating the conflict. Since the war's onset, Ukraine has relied heavily on Western aid, with the United States, European Union, and NATO allies providing billions in military and humanitarian assistance. Despite this support, Ukraine's military faces significant obstacles, including a population and economy dwarfed by Russia's. Zelensky's public stance has been resolute, refusing to cede territory or negotiate under duress. However, the toll of the conflict, marked by heavy casualties and destruction of infrastructure, pressures Ukraine to consider alternative strategies. Zelensky has sought to strengthen Ukraine's domestic defense industry, but efforts remain insufficient to achieve self-sufficiency. His calls for NATO membership underscore Ukraine's need for long-term security guarantees, yet such aspirations remain hindered by political complexities within the alliance. Zelensky's leadership has won him international admiration, but his ability to balance domestic resilience with international diplomacy will determine Ukraine's future. Challenges of a U.S. withdrawal. If the U.S. were to reduce or withdraw aid under Trump's leadership, the consequences for Ukraine could be dire. Currently, the U.S. provides 43% of Ukraine's total military assistance, with contributions including advanced weaponry, logistical support, and intelligence sharing capabilities. This level of support has been instrumental in enabling Ukraine to resist Russian advances. However, the prospect of Europe filling this gap appears challenging. The European Union, along with key allies such as the United Kingdom and Canada, already provides significant aid, but lacks the financial and military capacity. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more future videos. Your support helps us bring you well-researched and thought-provoking content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Trump's potential peace plan and its global implications? Let's discuss. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and take care.